Welcome back to our channels, Warriors. We are still growing. If you haven't smashed that subscribe button, go ahead and smash it right now. Shout out to all the patrons. I love you. You're the heartbeat of this channel. At the end, I'll give you your well-deserved shout out. This episode right here, man, I'm kind of anxious. I got anxiety. It's kind of weird. Maybe because it's the information I'm about to deliver. This isn't an easy task by any means. One of the reasons why I walked away from the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, if not one of the topmost reasons, was because of the gross negligence and incompetence by the managers and administration. And this is documented facts, right? It was never my goal to set out and destroy anyone's character, insult anyone. It was only to bring light to what is actually happening in the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. Because up until that point, nobody had known the truth. Because contrary to the transparency that is being preached, it is anything but. During this journey, I've been given the opportunity to touch the untouchables and reach out to individuals that I normally would not have ever reached out to. One of those individuals is Maurice Vasquez, aka Badass Snoop, CDCR number Victor 52382. You're probably aware of an incident that transpired at Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility within this year. As a matter of fact, the incident was dated 4/3/2024. I've acquired some documentation, and I tell you guys that a lot of these murders within the California Department of Corrections could have been prevented, right? Could have been prevented, should have been prevented. If it wasn't for the California model agenda push, somebody sent me that there's been a total of 8 homicides in 2024. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh, but that's extreme, even from a former correctional lieutenant with 16 years of experience. And I believe it was 16 or 20 or 21 suspects in those murders. Think about that. 21 suspects charged with murder, and 8 victims. Yeah, one of those incidents had like 8 suspects involved. So this is going to be a numerous series. I can't tell you how many parts there's going to be. It's just going to play out like everything. I will eventually get Badass Snoop on the phone for you guys sooner rather than later, and you can hear it from the horse's mouth. All right. Let's start off with some documentation. A rules violation report dated 12/18/21, in where Maurice Vasquez was charged with conspiracy to commit murder. 2021. On Friday, October 26, 2018, an investigation was completed by the California State Prison in Los Angeles County, so Lancaster, Investigative Services Unit, ISU, into you, inmate Maurice, a validated Northern Riders Security Threat Group 2 member, and your involvement in ongoing Northern Riders activity at the California State Prison, Lancaster. Specifically, during the course of the investigation, you have been identified as involved in the conspiracy to commit murder with a nexus to the Northern Rider Security Threat Group 2. In essence, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, if you've never been to prison functions like a little city. You got individuals committing crimes in there, ranging from the worst to the least. I mean, a crime is a crime. You have individual positions that do inquiries and investigations into those said crimes. Part of the due process is that the individuals involved receive documentation, right? Just like you would if you're going to court out on the streets, you will receive all evidence, or you should receive all evidence to prepare for a defense. This is where this is coming from. It goes on to say it has a lot of incidents where there was a lot of attempted murders at Kern Valley. It goes on to list a lot of different names, okay? To me, and to those working in the prison, this is every day. Are people going to order hits? Every day. Are people going to have problems with are inmates going to have problems with other inmates? Every day. And we know this, right? And we function. And for the most part, that makes sense. that makes sense as far as, hey, everybody's here in the prison. We got criminals, gang members, they're going to do their thing, right? As far as peace officers, we sit back, we observe. When it kicks off, we quell it. And at one point in time, California was the spearhead of quelling violence, man. Even to this day, it might even be the most violent prison system in the United States, more so now because of the incompetence. If you flip this over to the back, okay, and again, this is going to be numerous series, numerous parts. This is just a teaser for you guys and the introduction. On here, it goes to name an individual by the name of, where did I see that, man? Guy Perez. Okay, Guy Perez was the victim identified in the homicide at Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility, wherein Badass Snoop is a suspect. So in this documentation dated 2021, it's documentation. It's on the SOMS. It's on the computer system, Strategic Offender Management System, the brains that controls the entire prison, the computer system. Anybody and everybody has access to this. And that's why doing your research is paramount. In here, it goes on to say, lastly, Salinas Valley State Prison remains the same. Champ, Sanho, is an imposter. Champ is identified as inmate Guy Perez, moniker Champ, a non-validated member of the Northern Riders, STG member from San Jose, and has a warrant for his arrest. Vasquez is confirming that members or associates of the Northern Riders STG2 are aware that orders have been issued to assault or kill Perez. So if you have documentation, now this is where it gets juicy. Now my anxiety went down because now I've said facts. I've said documentation. So everything I've been saying has been true. I know this. Those that know it know it. So what did we have recently? Well, we had a homicide at Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility on Saturday, February 3rd, 2024. How did this happen? Well, I used to work there. A-Yard. A-Yard is a level 3 SNY. Level 3, okay? I keep talking about these level 4 overrides onto level 3. They're good behavior overrides. Now, a lot of people can say, oh man, I have level 4 points. I want to drop to a level 2. I want to get my stuff together and I want to program and I want to parole one day. Well, that may be true. On the flip side of that ugly coin is possibilities like this can and do happen. I've been involved in numerous instances where level 4 overrides have caused chaos and victims in their wake, to include correctional staff members. According to the DOM, the Departmental Operations Manual, the warden has overall authority of the classification. So he's in charge, man. Who goes who, where goes where. Overall authority, accountability, responsibility. Somehow, some way, not somehow, some way, because this is normal program. This is not unusual. They housed inmate Vasquez on the same yard, the same facility as inmate Perez. A documented enemy of inmate Vasquez. I'm going to say that again. Somehow, some way, and this is not unusual, they housed inmate Vasquez on the same yard as inmate Perez. Now, if you've never been to prison, you can ask yourself, what's the harm in that, man? Can't those two guys just get along? Can't they just, that's not how prison operates. That's not how prison works. Now, I know I say prison is a microcosm of society. However, it's a predatorial environment in there. It's a dog-eat-dog world. Live by the sword, die by the sword, literally. From what I've been informed, inmate Vasquez made numerous attempts to de-escalate the situation, to make it known hey, I got an enemy on this yard, man. And that happens. That happens. Inmates will come up to staff and say, I can't be on this yard. I have safety concerns. But that dude's an enemy. Now, if an inmate has already been endorsed means he sat in front of a classification committee and blessed by the powers above, managers, administrators. They're the ones that have the might of the pen. There's really nothing a correctional officer can do, right? And they ain't gonna tackle him and take him to his safety. The damage has already been done. So what ended up resulting as a result of improperly housing two enemies that should have never been housed on the same yard? And again, if it's one of the 8 murders, this one could have easily been prevented, just like a majority of the other ones, all right? Here's one officer's report from that day. On Saturday, February 3rd, 2024, at approximately 14:19 hours, while performing my duties as Facility A 5 floor officer number 1, I was conducting my security check in the A section upper tier when I heard via the institutional alarm radio, Code 1, Housing Unit 3. I immediately responded to Housing Unit 3, where I observed inmate Mendoza and inmate Vasquez in the prone position in front of lower B section shower, and inmate Perez lying on his back next to the podium with multiple lacerations on his upper torso. Utilizing my state-issued radio, I called for central control to activate a 911 ambulance for multiple lacerations. I provided coverage of lower B section until Officer Blank responded to inmate Perez location with a towel to apply pressure on the laceration of inmate Perez's chest. The victim had massive lacerations on his chest area where the heart is. I relieved Officer Blank and applied the pressure to inmate Perez's chest with the towel. Acting Sergeant Blank then gave me direction to apply pressure with the towel to the location that was actively bleeding on inmate Perez's right armpit area. Inmate Blank then returned to inmate Perez's location, and with more cloth items for the laceration, I took a state-issued blue t-shirt and utilized it to apply pressure to inmate Perez's right armpit area. During this time, inmate Perez began moving his legs. I gave him orders to stop moving his legs and to keep breathing. TTA medical, that's the triage treatment area. Medical staff arrived on site and began the treatment of inmate Perez. They escorted inmate Perez to the TTA, and they began performing chest compressions. So they began CPR. Inmate Perez succumbed to his wounds, right? Again, I'm not here to smut people up. I'm not here to spread rumors, lies, or gossip. I'm here to tell you that there is a massive problem. It's more than a problem, okay? Plaguing the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. I've been saying this for over a year. That could have been prevented. That could have been prevented without a shadow of a doubt. Yet nobody was held accountable, okay? No managers were held accountable. No administrators were held accountable. How does that happen? If you work at Jack in the Box and you burn the fries, you're probably going to get fired. Continuously burn the fries. Except in this case, the fries aren't burning. The inmates are dying. The officers are getting attacked. In the upcoming future, you will hear from the individual himself, Badass Snoop, and he's going to tell you his side of the story. I want to thank you guys for following along. I want to thank you guys for all your support. You play a massive role in this change that we hope to enact. With that, this episode was sponsored by the following patrons. Program Time, Steve, still violating state policy. Hey, I'm just medical. Brianna, Tocayo, Carnalito, treatment not time, false alarm force used, enforce fit, Fishing is life. Damn, LT, can that sure get any tighter? Gigi, Vinny me la pela, Santa Barbara County. Don Chicharo, shut the F up and make it wink. A la verga, 760. Scorpio Rising, Miss Rod, Gio, G-Ride, Vote Newsome out, The Prison Psychologist, Fuerte 84, Mark, Zeus, Michigan Wolverines, Don't Trip, Put Me Out 6 South, Buck, Me Ass, AWOL like Monte, One Bad Yard Battle, Cherokee Cat, Loco Moco, The Big Bad Wolf, Raider 62, L. Eli, thank you for the pizza, CCPOA. Gerardo, Steven, Rigo SD, Pelon, Eric, not on my watch, who's doing the pipe, Denise, the real McCoy, Trump is my Theo, Jay, a Pogue in the 6-pack, Tower, can I get a one-way? I'll close it, I promise. Keith, Devil Dog, Ricardo, Maladjusted, Bankroll Suave, Carmine the Pitbull, American Mestizo, Lori 559CO, Ruben, CJ Zavalza, EOP Whisper, F your 602, Las Vegas Flights Live, Gavino, hey, Control, let me get a backup plan and a lawyer. Pre of these nuts, Lockdown 5, Cristobal La Reina, Winston, Tony, the Mexican Snowman, El Skid, Hobie Cat, Lead with Love, Elber 12, damn, that's a big Samoan, J.I. Esquiel, Big Bad 48, Nova, Linda, the retired CO, Mikey 559, the homie Marius, Chevelle 66, Crispy Nuts, Bad Karma, and the homie Rags. If you have not already signed up for that Patreon, make sure you hit that link in the description below. Trust me, you're definitely missing out. Keep pushing forward.